Hi. So I haven't been making many videos lately, but I'll explain that soon. But he did want me to put out this message, and that is that smoking is not a sin. Like somewhere along some point in history, mankind got it into their head that smoking was this horrible sin. And I knew this because I sometimes watch shows about Hasidic Jews, and smoking's not a problem in their culture. And then he kind of explained it to me. But one time when I went to heaven, I saw all these symbols of all the plants God had made. And as I was kind of rising up, I was like, wait, these symbols aren't bad. And there was like a tobacco leaf and all the psychoactive substances he put on earth in their natural form. And so I kind of understood that these substances were actually from him. And then he recently told me that for a lot of people, when they imbibe nicotine or THC, they actually get a clearer connection with him. And I found this. Oh, and then he showed me this image of someone like in a really stressful situation. And then when they take that time to go smoke, they kind of get away from that situation. And it's in those moments that they really kind of feel the stillness of God. So throughout the day, they get a little of that intense relief and peace of God. And then the mind kind of functions differently. So he's not saying it's healthy and anything like that, but he is concerned with how many parents are telling their children they're going to go to hell, and how many people walk around all day long thinking he's angry at them and that they're constantly sinning and they can't stop. And I read this article probably 5-7 years ago, and it said that scientists had discovered that there's something on some people's genetic code that they literally cannot quit smoking. Like once one of these people with this certain DNA smokes, they cannot stop. And he had me always kind of remember that in my head, but he has told me that he has written that it's very important for some people to smoke. So please stop berating yourself or your children if they've gotten addicted. It truly might have been in God's plan. Anything else? When you smoke, you can access a different place in your brain. This place is closer to the spiritual realm. You can truly, I tell you, feel it if you look for it. I created tobacco for a reason. Amen. Okay, so if you haven't seen any of my videos, that was the Lord. I wasn't expecting him to go this blatantly forward with this, But I do know that when I went to heaven, this was clear. For the record, I've been addicted to nicotine since I was 16. And there have been a couple times in my life where I have quit. I quit for 3 years, and he's just now showing me an image. I had quit for 3 years, and I was so grateful because nicotine really enslaves you. Like, I don't recommend it. If you aren't addicted to it, just stay away unless you can just both afford it and sit at home and do it. It's not something I have ever supported. He doesn't want me to say that. Okay, well, whatever. I'm just saying my opinion. As a prophet, I do have a right to my opinion. And I have found, I didn't, at some point in time, when I first started smoking, I was like, God is going to... No, I wasn't. My dad was a pastor and he smoked. I was just upset because I lied to my parents about it. Like, it was horrible years of struggle because I didn't want my parents to know I smoked, even though I did. But he used that for spiritual battle, so... But anyway, I quit for 3 years. And then one day I was taking a walk with my son. I had to wait for my husband where he was working. His shift went over. And this happened to be a place where I had been in my early 20s. And I used to walk on this little bridge all the time. So I had quit for 3 years. And one day I look up and I see this little bridge I used to walk on. And I get my son's stroller and I'm like, oh, I want to go, reminisce about my youth. And as I walk up to the bridge, I look down and there is a pack of Camel Lights. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, there's no way there's cigarettes in there. But something inside me made me lean down and pick it up. I open it up and inside are 13 beautiful, fresh-looking cigarettes. And I was like, oh. And all of a sudden, my mouth started watering. My entire body went into the only thing I could think about was nicotine. So I picked them up and I told myself, no, you won't. And I did. And I hadn't smoked one yet. I had not smoked one. They were in the diaper bag. And my husband came home from work the second day, because I think I held off for a while. And he walks in the door and he says, it smells like an ashtray in here. What's that smell? And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I really thought it was the devil. Like, I really did. It was not Satan, and I am God the Father of Jesus Christ, who came to earth in the flesh. And Satan cannot say those words. It is righteously, lawfully impossible. So anyway, I thought this was Satan because there were 13 cigarettes. My husband smelled this and I was constantly thinking about it. Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? And then I don't know what happened, but I know that probably for the next 3 years, I lived in hell lying about it to my husband. And God used that internal fear and terror and all the things that I went through at that time. Guilt, shame, disgust, self-disgust. That's what it's like to have an addiction. It's awful. And now that God is kind of letting me know how he works and wanting the world to know how he works, I know that I was not responsible for that. He wanted me to smoke. And he's been showing me lately how that's why we cannot judge other people. We do not know what God has written for them for these spiritual battles that no one's been aware of until I'm going to kind of try and explain them. So anyway, that's what he wanted me to release today. I hope you're having a wonderful August. Amen.